People dread all sorts of things in life, like going to the dentist, or having to clean your room, or being summoned to the principal's office. I certainly wasn't a stranger to the principal's office. I remember when I was 8, I was sent there because I would kick balls from the yard into neighboring gardens. And then when I was 11, I was sent there because I was passing notes to a girl I liked underneath the table. That was one particularly awkward conversation. But one encounter with a principal that I remember the most was when I was 14. And this time, I wasn't sent to the principal's office. The principal actually came to me. I remember she knocked on the classroom door and she asked me to come out for a chat. A lot went through my young mind at that time. Like, what will my parents think? Will I make friends at a new school? Will this go on my permanent record? Will I get a job? To my shock, she actually wanted to thank me. You see, there was a friend of mine in my year who was always at the end of banter that went too far. He was the end of so many jokes, and on multiple occasions, he would leave rugby training in tears. Now, I want to tell you that I was the guy who was standing up for him right there and then in the changing room. But what was true was that I would chase after him every single time to make sure that he was okay. And although I didn't know it at the time, it was this small gesture was what kept him from wanting to change schools. And this is why I was brought out from class to be thanked on that day. This is not about how great Johnny was. I was still a very flawed 14-year-old. But I was a young lad who was trying to make his faith real. And although I struggled a lot with prayer at the time, I remembered that when I did pray, my prayers were simple. I just asked God to help me make a difference. I believe this was the power of the Holy Spirit working in me. Now, it may not have been as incredible as at Pentecost, but I believe the Holy Spirit was giving me what I needed to make the right call and help a friend. I believe if we ask the Holy Spirit, we will be given power to live our lives and treat others as Jesus did when he was on earth. The Holy Spirit will produce in us what is known as the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. The Apostle Paul, who teaches us about the fruit of the Holy Spirit, encourages us to live for one another. He said, "As for you, my friends, you are called to be free, but do not let this freedom become an excuse for letting your physical desires control you. Instead, let love make you serve one another. For the whole law is summed up in one commandment: love your neighbor as you love yourself."
So that's what was in Johnny's backpack that day. I wonder what's in your backpack that will help meet a need that you see around you. Maybe it's wisdom, and not just to pass an exam, but wisdom to help a friend who is really struggling. Or courage, and not necessarily to fight an army, but to have strength to stand up for what is right. Or patience and self-control, to say no to what might harm you and others.
So whatever it might be, we encourage you to boldly pray for God's Spirit to work in you. Now, this is a risky prayer because we believe God will answer it. But remember, whatever you face, you won't face it alone. Jesus has left us with a helper, a guide, a partner. He gives us a backpack filled with every tool we need to face all kinds of situations. He gives us His Holy Spirit.